Michelle Obama not going high. She's done.
You know, it's an insult to the office of the presidency. It doesn't matter who's the president. This is a tradition that's been around for over 100 years. You shouldn't do this.
Tell that to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who Donald Trump or who isn't. It's the president of the United States.
No.
He didn't show up.
I'm saying he didn't show up at all.
I don't.
And he was actually.
I don't
like
agree
a
with
former
that
First
either.
Lady,
You
like,
should always show for the office.
8 years ago.
Doesn't matter. Then you should say Donald should have shown. Everybody should show up for funerals and for inaugurations. Period.
I don't really care whether she's there all that much. I mean, she can make her travel decisions. I do think this is part of a pattern of these little petty snubs. This is one. Kamala Harris won't invite J.D. Vance's wife and kids over to the Naval Observatory where she's moving children into. They've never been in it before. A clear sort of petty snub. Then when she tweeted out the picture of the Carter funeral, she clearly cropped out Trump out of the picture. I think
she didn't crop it. That was a picture that the Carter family released.
Okay, well,
he was behind a pillar, but yes, he was not in the photo.
Look, you can blame it on Trump and say, well, he treated Biden terribly, and I agree. I think Biden should have gone to the inaugural, or Trump should have gone to Biden's inaugural as well. I don't care whether she comes or not, but I do think some of this pettiness is beneath.
Can I just on the
people's
Kamala Harris
profile.
of it all? Let me just play. Not to explain it. She can do what she wants. She's the vice president. But here's what J.D. Vance has said about her.
It's that Kamala Harris is so asleep at the wheel that she won't even do an investigation into what happened. And she wants to yell at Donald Trump because he showed up. She can go to hell. But while we're not garbage for thinking that Kamala Harris has done a bad job, I think in a couple days the voters in New Hampshire are going to take out the trash in Washington, D.C., and that person's name is Kamala Harris.
Okay, Michelle Obama represents me, and I'm glad that she's not. Like, if she doesn't want to go, don't go. I hear, but I just feel like she has gone high. She's gone very high for a very long time, and I have said on the show before, when they go low, we need to match energy. We are in a different era of politics. Also, Donald Trump doesn't want Michelle Obama at his inauguration, so he doesn't care. Like, let that be his day. He won. Go govern. Michelle Obama, go live your best life. Represent the 92 of us who showed up for Kamala Harris. And if Kamala Harris has been more than graceful with presiding over the certification of the election, with showing up, I mean, you laugh, but
graceful.
Yes.
Like,
the last time that happened, remember the whole Capitol was on fire. Crap was smeared on the wall. I'm just saying,
she has
it's not
no
laugh.
functional
it's
role
not,
in it.
It's like your laugh is
ministerial.
Your laugh is diminishing sometimes your points because if you just remember 4 years ago, we just didn't even have any of those things. We didn't have the sitting president come to the inauguration, let alone a first lady from 8 years ago. So Michelle Obama, go live your best life.
I would just quickly throw in here. She's a human being. She may be sick. And that is an element.
Why don't you say that then?
I don't know, and it's none of my business. But she can make a decision. And the second thing to say is I think there are a lot of people, to pick up on Ashley's point, who probably feel like, you know what? I really don't like Donald Trump. I don't like the way that I've been spoken about. I don't like the way I've been spoken
What about
to.
the office of
I
the
don't like the
presidency?
kind of racial animus that's involved in so many of this stuff. And so maybe she doesn't want to go. Her husband, on the other hand, the former president, is doing just what you guys suggest.
Yeah.
And sticking with the formality and the tradition. But I think she has the right.
Hillary should not go either.
I mean, look, the spouses are doing what they want. I mean, Melania Trump didn't go to the White House when the Bidens invited Trump just this past fall. Melania Trump and Donald Trump didn't invite the Bidens to the White House in the last transition because there was no transition.
It's all bad.
They just did not have one.
Yeah.
Nothing good about either side doing this to the other. She went high and she lost, but she should honor the office of the president.
I will say,
she went high and they lost in 2016, and she did honor and show up.
Why can't
and then
she do it
Donald
again?
Trump
Why can't she
went
do it
so
again?
low, she was like, I'm not meeting you in the
Talking
pizza
about
hole.
6 hours of her time.
I do think we are off the slippery slope of election denialism. Both parties seem to have accepted the outcome here. It strikes me that we're in a strange place where we may be getting back to normal about the way our politics works following an election. Showing up and doing the traditions would be a continuation of that. Again, I don't personally care whether she goes or not. I'm sure Trump doesn't either. But I think we're in a better place today than we have been after the last several elections going back to 2000, truthfully. So that is a good
Early
thing.
after 2020.
Exactly.
After 2000,
there's going to be a peaceful transfer of power.
Yeah.
I think that is a victory.
If you're a
Hitler's taking
Catholic
over.
and
It's
you don't go to
amazing.
church on Sunday, you burn in hell. That's the way I look at this thing.
Look,
you got to follow the tradition.
I've said this once, and I'll say it again. The only time that we've had a former president not pass the baton to the person that is succeeding him was when Donald Trump did it. That's the only time it's ever happened.
Also bad.
I'm just saying that's the only time. So when we talk about slippery slopes, Donald Trump just went all the way off the cliff, okay? He didn't even go down the slope. He just went off the cliff. And that's why we are where we are.
Well, that certainly was some dazzling, dashing highlights. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more of our videos.